You know, money, it can be a massive source of anxiety for so many of us. But what if I told you there's a straightforward system to actually take control? Today, we're diving into Ramit Sethi's huge bestseller, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. We're going to break down his 6-week program that promises to take you from feeling confused and maybe a little guilty to feeling confident and seeing what's really possible.
So right from the get-go, the book just throws this question at you. Would you rather be sexy or rich? It's a bit provocative, right? But it's designed to make you think. Are you chasing the flashy, complicated financial moves that sound super impressive at a party? Or are you focused on the simple, maybe even boring steps that are proven to actually build wealth? This one question really sets the stage for the entire philosophy.
And here's the book's core analogy, which is just brilliant. We treat our money almost exactly like we treat our health. Think about it. With food, people will argue for hours about keto versus paleo instead of just, eating a few more vegetables and moving a bit more. And we do the same thing with finance. We get bogged down debating which hot stock is going to pop or listening to talking heads on TV instead of just mastering the absolute fundamentals.
And that, right there, is the trap so many of us fall into. Arguing about all these tiny details. It feels productive, doesn't it? It feels like we're engaged and making progress. But the book argues that in reality, it's often just a really sophisticated form of procrastination. It's an excuse that stops us from taking the few, simple actions that actually move the needle. It creates this illusion of progress when we're really just spinning our wheels.
Okay, so what's the real cost of getting stuck in this illusion? What's the price we pay for doing nothing? Well, it's not just some philosophical idea. There is a real, tangible, and honestly, a pretty staggering financial cost to inaction.
Sethi has a name for this mindset. He calls it a form of victim culture, where we find reasons why things won't work. We tell ourselves, oh, it's impossible for me, or the whole system is rigged against me anyway. And this quote just perfectly captures how self-defeating that is. By manufacturing these arguments and finding excuses, you might feel justified for a minute, but you've ultimately just guaranteed your own failure. You lose in the long run.
Let's make this super concrete with a classic example from the book. Meet Smart Sally and Dumb Dan. So Sally starts investing $200 a month at age 35, and she only does it for 10 years. Dan, on the other hand, he waits a decade until he's 45. Now he invests that same $200 a month, but for twice as long, for 20 years. So who comes out ahead at age 65? It's Sally, by a long shot. Why? The magic of compound interest. Time is your single greatest asset when it comes to investing.
So what's the difference? Look at this number, almost $63,000. That is the cold, hard cash cost of Dan's 10-year delay. And this isn't about shaming anyone. It's about showing you the incredible, almost unbelievable power of just starting now.
All right, enough doom and gloom about the problem. Let's talk about the solution, because there is one. The book really boils down its entire philosophy to a few core principles. Think of them as powerful mindset shifts that are designed to get you out of the weeds and into action.
First up is the 85% solution. This is basically the cure for perfection paralysis. You know that feeling when you spend weeks trying to find the absolute best savings account or the perfect investment fund, and you get so overwhelmed that you end up doing nothing? This rule says, stop that. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to get it mostly right and just get started. Getting 85% of the way there is infinitely better than staying at zero.
The second rule is about something called conscious spending. And I love this because it is not about budgeting or depriving yourself of everything you enjoy. It's actually the total opposite. It's about figuring out what you truly love, maybe it's travel or eating in amazing restaurants, and then spending extravagantly on it, completely guilt-free. And to afford that, you become absolutely ruthless about cutting costs on all the stuff you couldn't care less about.
And you might be thinking, okay, that sounds nice, but does it actually work? Well, check out this testimonial from a reader, Steve Adcock. He and his wife retired in their early 30s to travel the country in an RV. I mean, wow. This is what conscious spending can lead to, a life that you've intentionally designed around what you value most.
Rule number 3, focus on the big wins. Seriously, forget about agonizing over that $3 latte. The book argues that your entire financial life is really determined by just 5 to 10 major decisions. Getting these right, like automating your finances, negotiating your salary just one time, or paying off high-interest debt, these things have a vastly greater impact than a lifetime of cutting coupons could ever have.
And finally, we come right back to that first question we asked. The fourth rule is understanding that good investing is, well, it's kind of boring. Chasing hot stocks, day trading, trying to time the market, that stuff feels exciting. It feels sexy.
But the proven path to actually being rich is a simple, low-cost, buy-and-hold strategy that you set up once and just let it run for decades. The goal isn't to have a cool story. The goal is to make money.
So we've got the mindset, the big ideas, but how do you actually do all this stuff? Well, that's where the action plan comes in. The book lays out a really practical, step-by-step program to build your entire financial system from scratch in just 6 weeks.
The program breaks it all down into 6 totally manageable weekly steps. Each week, you tackle one of the big wins. Week 1, optimize your credit cards. Week 2, set up better bank accounts. Then you get ready to invest, create your spending plan, automate the whole system, and finally, make your investing strategy super simple. It's a clear step-by-step roadmap.
Now, the absolute magic behind this whole system, the thing that makes it all work, is automation. The whole idea is to have your paycheck automatically divided and sent exactly where it needs to go, to your bills, to your savings, to your investments, without you ever lifting a finger. The system does all the heavy lifting for you, so your wealth literally grows while you sleep.
And again, does this work in the real world? Absolutely. Just listen to this story from a reader, Ross Fletcher. He went from a net worth of $0 to nearly $500,000 just by setting up this automated flow. And you know, the real prize isn't just the money. It's what he says at the end. I never have to worry about money. That's huge.
Okay, this brings us to the last and honestly, the most important part of this whole philosophy. After you've built the system, after the money is flowing automatically, what's it all for? What's the point of being rich anyway?
So, a rich life, according to this book, has nothing to do with a specific number in your bank account. It's about using money as a tool to intentionally design the life that you actually want to live. It completely shifts the focus from how much money do I need to what do I truly want to do with my life.
And your rich life is going to look completely different from mine. It could be small things, like just being able to order appetizers without even looking at the price. It could be about convenience, like taking a taxi home when you're tired instead of the bus. Or it could be huge, life-changing goals, like traveling for a month every single year, or making sure your parents can retire comfortably. It's deeply, deeply personal.
When you get right down to it, that's what this system is designed to give you. Freedom. The freedom of choice. For this reader, Sean Wilkins, it meant the freedom to just take 9 months off work to go travel the world. For you, it could mean the freedom to change careers, to start a family, or to finally pursue that passion project you've always dreamed of. That's the real goal. And so we end by turning that question back to you. The book gives you the roadmap, it gives you the tools, but you have to decide on the destination. So for a second, forget what society says you're supposed to want. Get really specific. Be intentional. What does your rich life actually look like?